Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lockbeard Random Live number 53, Atlantis Found. It is Sunday, February 13th, 2022. Um, Welcome, everybody. I see Judy's here, Brian and Chewy's here, and Chrissy. Uh, well, you probably didn't even have time to. By the time I got the thing punched in, it was like 4 minutes till. uh, Brian, so that may be part of why. So you got here pretty quick for something that didn't get entered in until 4 minutes before start time. um, it depends on how much faith you put into Randall Carlson. It might have been a little clickbaity, but he could really be right. The part of the problem is as he talks about is that a lot of the evidence that's would support what he's trying to say just hasn't really been considered very much. Um, a lot of mainstream scientists have rejected the possibility that there could have been a continent or at least a very large island in the middle of the Atlantic in the past. However, as Randall talks about, there's a lot of evidence to indicate that the Azores was not just a few little islands in the past. And as recently as the end of the Pleistocene, when the Younger Dryas impact occurred, some of the evidence points to about that time, that it was just about 12,000 years ago above water. The Azores plateau, and if so, there could have been, a civilization there. Damn right, says Brian. uh, Christy says you're my irrational brain, so whatever you say. Well, hopefully everybody has their own rational brain, but um, yeah. So before we talked about the uh, the Eye of the Sahara fitting a lot of the description from Plato. Uh, Jimmy, who's the guy on the thumbnail, I'll pull up that picture again where I put wrong on there. Just just maybe a little clickbaity again. Anyway, on his channel, he tries to make a good case for the Eye of the Sahara being uh, Atlantis. But Randall Carlson is someone I would put a lot more into what he says about it because of his knowledge. Danny says we all know Atlantis is under the ice in Antarctica. Well, part of the problem with Antarctica is its location is just way too far off. I think there's definitely some remnants of the ancient civilization there, but I don't think that when they're talking about Atlantis, that Atlantis would not be in Antarctica. It'd be a lot closer to the Pillars of Hercules, and Antarctica is just way too far away. Chrissy says I've been slowly letting mine slip away as of late. Well, work on it, I guess. I'll play part of Randall because there was someone in here asking the other day for the link to his documentary that he's made. Randall Carlson has made You do got to pay for it. It's in 2 parts. It's like $18 for each part, and I think it's $33 for both of them. He was on Joe Rogan here recently, talking a little bit about it, and so if someone is really interested in hearing all of his argument for why the Azores Plateau is the real location of Atlantis, then that's what you need to check out. And I'll show you that webpage for it here in a little bit if y'all want to see it. But here he's talking about it a little bit. I'll play a little bit of this here.
I would suggest that the scientific dismissal of the mid-Atlantic location was premature, and the subsequent tangents embarked upon by researchers only muddied the waters and threw the quest for Atlantis, if it existed, off track. I am arguing that it is time to go back to the source and examine to what extent Plato's precise details might be supported or refuted by modern scientific knowledge. I have covered much of this material in my Cosmographia podcasts, but there is more to be said. And the goal with this live stream is to provide a succinct and condensed interpretation of Plato's remarkable story in the light of modern scientific knowledge, and perhaps to lay the groundwork for an upcoming expedition. I hope to see you on January 27th.
So let me see. Stop that thing from playing. Go away. I don't know if we should look at the Google. Oh, look at this first. Just a second. So that's the middle of the Atlantic, and it's pretty much the green areas. I mean, most of that's underwater now, but that's pretty much the areas you would be looking at as potentially being part of that landmass above sea level. You see Spain and Portugal there in the Strait of Gibraltar, where the Pillars of Hercules are, and Atlantis is supposed to be beyond the Pillars of Hercules. So yeah, like I said, Randall talks about different bits of evidence proving that there was this landmass here, roughly 12,000 years ago. It just lines up time wise just fine. Let me bring up the Google Earth here. Google Earth. Hopefully it doesn't crash the system. So, yeah. So hopefully you recognize it's not green in this image because, like I said, it's all underwater. I'll move it to the center. Right there in the center, in the middle of the Atlantic, is where he says Atlantis should be. which is definitely beyond the Pillars of Hercules. It's close enough that it seems reasonable. Uh, to be Atlantis. Antarctica is just way too far away, and of course it's way south from this location, so it just doesn't make sense. Before we were talking about the Eye of the Sahara, which is almost due south of the Pillars of Hercules. So you could make an argument that, if one was to sail out through the strait and just pretty much hang a left, you would end up at Atlantis. And you could argue that it's still beyond the Pillars of Hercules, but where Randall's saying it's at in the Azores is just directly out, so it just makes a little more sense. But I don't know if everybody was here where we're looking at this before and how structurally it seemed to match up the Eye of the Sahara here. But and it may be an archaeologically significant location, but it's not conclusive. It's not conclusive, so we may have to look at something else. But it's definitely interesting. Definitely some major water flow across that land at some point. Something big went down here. Can't seem to zoom out. So yeah. This may be it right here. So it needs more study though. It needs more study. I definitely don't think it's in Antarctica. This is probably the best possibility right here. Let me see here. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Bright Insight channel. He presents a lot of really cool information pertaining to ancient civilizations. His name is Jimmy. So it's definitely still a good channel. So I think people should definitely check out Bright Insight. Randall Carlson's got a channel too. It's just called Randall Carlson, and that's where he does his Cosmographia podcast. Yeah, that's Jimmy. So don't think badly of him. He's a smart guy, and he presents a lot of good information about ancient civilizations on his channel. It's just that it doesn't sound like Randall Carlson backs him up. Right there next to him on the thumbnail, I had that map that somebody made up. This is speculation of how that landmass may have looked when it was above water. So, and of course, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Of course, there's Randall Carlson. If you watch Joe Rogan's podcast, you've seen this guy a few times. There's a reason. There's definitely a reason. And if I ever get a show going like Joe Rogan's, I'll definitely be trying to get this guy on at some point, because he's just a wealth of information. The stuff that he's learned and what he's trying to, information he's trying to get to people is just, I think it's extremely important, because I think that they are trying to, the government, the elite, the NWO, whoever you want to call the pricks in charge of the world, they don't want us to know about the ancient civilization. They don't want us to know where Atlantis is. They're hiding this information from us for some reason. It gives them power somehow. And I don't think they just hide stuff just because they're hoarding, knowledge of the past. I think that there is real technology involved here. All the megalithic structures that are just beyond our capability to build today. There's no way we could have built all that shit. But those people did prior to the Younger Dryas impact. Randall's trying to tell us about it. Jimmy's trying to tell us about it. Freaking Graham Hancock, that wild sucker. I'm sure some of y'all heard about Graham Hancock, his fingerprints of the gods and all that. Um, Again, another person trying to figure out our true past. Our past belongs to all of us, and for some reason, we're not being allowed to freely know what really happened. I mean, one could try to argue that the elite are just trying to prevent us from being, nervous as chihuahuas out here. That at any moment we could be just obliterated because the disaster that occurred at the end of the Pleistocene. I mean, it could happen at any time, and it was of such insane power. Like we freak out when there's a hurricane. Hurricane is a drop in the bucket compared to what happened 13,000 years ago, 12 to 13,000 years ago. Maybe some people couldn't handle that knowledge, knowing, something that big, that bad can happen, and there is nobody can help us if that happens. Like, there's FEMA ain't coming in with trailers and shit. Everybody is completely screwed if that happens again, and it could happen again. It could happen over and over again. It could happen, 2 years in a row or some shit. At any moment, a piece of rock can fall out of the damn sky and screw up the entire world. And they think in the case of, it's the same, like there's this, like a band of broken up pieces in this, like a fragmented, um, a celestial object, and the Earth passes through it a couple times a year, I think. So every time we pass through, there's a chance we get hit by something big. And they say we got hit 12,900 years ago or 800, something like that, almost 13,000 years ago, and then we got hit again about 11,600 years ago. But they think it hit in the ocean or something, I think. This could happen at any time. You know, do we need to worry about Yellowstone popping its top? Sure, that's going to be a bad day, but it'll be nothing compared to what happened during the Younger Dryas impact. Nothing. I mean, it'll be bad, but it won't be anywhere near approaching what happened. Scoured areas completely the hell off. Anyone that was there was completely obliterated. Um, I mean, fucking Atlantis went under the sea. So, and a lot of other areas, vast areas of land, are now underwater because of that impact. Donald Series says, "Hey, Lockbeard in chat, Mr. Hugh, Sandra, welcome to y'all." Let me pull Randall off the screen there. I'll show you. So if anybody's interested in watching this, let me get it on screen. There it is. It's on howtube.com. Anyway, like everybody, he's got to pay the bills, so he's charging for this. Yeah, it's $18 for each part. It's 2 parts, or $33 for both parts. But yeah, I'll put the link in the chat, so if anybody wants it. Rusty's here's got to go. All right, we'll see you later. Thanks for coming. Donald says, has the Super Bowl started? Notice the normal peeps are missing. It may have. I don't know. I don't follow sports. In fact, I had completely forgotten that this is Super Bowl Sunday until you just said that. Ruthless is here. It's morning for Ruthless. Morning time. Welcome, Ruthless. Just another day. They all end in Y, or is it Y? He. Maybe. As in why me? Boy to the Ruthless. I don't even know who is playing. Yeah, I wouldn't know either, Sandra. There's that link if y'all want it. Donald Fuller, Mr. Hugh, buffering. Is the stream buffering? I might need to shut off Google Earth. Google Earth seems to be a freaking drain on things. Donald says, me neither, Sandra. I quit football when Dallas quit playing football. Fractal. Something's fractal. The stream. No, not why me. Emanations and perturbations, man. Oh, crap. It's all a perturbation, man. All of it. It's all perturbation in the ether. I'll turn off. It's fine here, says Donald. Cool. I'm gonna turn off Google Earth anyway, unless well, maybe not yet. Take old Randall back down. Anyway, I did my best, Randall. I don't know how much people really care about the science behind it. A lot of people probably be just, interested in it for about 30 seconds when it comes on the news. Randall Carlson has discovered the true location of Atlantis. We dove down there. We found a temple, and we think it was the city hall, and it says right on it, City Hall of Atlantis. Problem solved. Mine is fine. Ruthless is buffering, I guess. Zoom out I'll bring Google Earth back up. We'll poke around with it for a little bit. Just a second. Yeah, there's Google Earth. There's the probable location of Atlantis, but it's just underwater. Beyond the Pillars of Hercules, right where it's supposed to be. The Younger Dryas impact took place in Greenland. So you can see it's not even that far from where Atlantis is. So you got to imagine, all that ice that was there. I think there was more at the time. And, you get hit by a gigantic astronomical object and it, just the flash of heat would melt massive amounts of water um, damn near instantly, which flooded into the seas. And all the continental shelves you see here, they were, above water. There's tons and tons of land that's now below water now. Florida was 3 times as wide. The Gulf of Mexico was only half as big as it is now. Dang it, I tilted the earth the wrong way. Hope nobody felt that. Y'all will note that the earth is, in fact, a globe. Sorry, I had to do it. So, anyway, Greenland. Now, something I think was kind of interesting is it seems like the ice coverage at the time back then was a little off center of where the North Pole is now. It was kind of over to the left where Canada is more than it was towards Russia over here. So if the crustal shifting hypothesis is not completely crazy, that would explain why the ice would be centered more towards Canada than towards Russia. That would explain why that area was not glaciated and there were massive herds of mastodons just doing their thing over there, but Canada was like all froze up. Let's see if Google Earth is. I'm gonna try to find a. Let me see if I can find out where. I don't remember where it is. Maybe we can at least just look at the right spot. Um, I'm trying to find it. Give me a minute. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it with that or not. The Hiawatha Glacier. Well, not sure where that's at. Let's try and locate it. It's in the northeast. There it is. Somewhere in this region here is where the impact was, but it's under new glaciers now. So somewhere around here. in northeast Greenland. Rutha says, it's my easily confusing syntax. It's a little more than confusing sometimes. Rutha says, where does it say that? Atlantis. Huh? Found Atlantis somewhere else? Moa? Moa? I don't know what that word is. Found Atlantis somewhere else. Randall Carlson seems to think it's in the Azores. The Azores plateau was once above sea level. There's evidence that shows that. Donald says, what would the climate have been at that location? Where the impact was? Here in Greenland? It was glaciated at the time. That's where all that water came from. It flash melted, thousands of years of ice that was built up. And since the impact, of course, it's covered back over with glaciers. But Emma says, hello, Lockbeard. Hello, Emma. Everybody saying hi to Emma. Rutha says, was supposed to be now. TPOB. I'm guessing the P wasn't supposed to be in 2 there. You using a phone? Are you having trouble with the your fingers too big for the phone? Get back out of here a little bit. Yep. So yeah, there probably weren't a lot in the way of people at that location at the time. The ice came all the way down into Canada. And most of Canada, I think, was under ice. So as you can see, there's way less ice today. And but it didn't matter. It was, so much energy and heat that it flash melted all that water and just obliterated people in a lot of areas. Well, we can only really speculate that if there were people there, anything that was alive within range of the water, the blast of melted water. If you look at Randall Carlson stuff, he, if you prefer to watch it on his channel, or he talks about some of this stuff on Joe Rogan's podcast in his previous visits, he shows where the flood from that impact created ripples taller than buildings, like I don't know, like 3 or 4 story buildings, I think he said. Like normally you see little ripples after a flood, and they're like a millimeter deep. But these ripples are taller than 4-story buildings. Even knowing that, you probably can't truly imagine the enormity of the flood that occurred. And of course, all that ice melt caused the sea levels to rise hundreds of feet. All this area, this light area, the continental shelf was pretty much all above sea level and probably occupied, and people were probably congregated along those seashores at the time and may not have had time to get the hell out of Dodge. And this is where I really don't think Atlantis is going to be. It's just way too far away. It's not directly out from the Strait of Gibraltar like the Azores is. But I do think there is probably some remnant of the ancient civilization there. And also, if you remember the Pierre Reese map, that's a map that an ancient map that shows Antarctica without ice on it. And you know how I was saying that the it looked like the ice cap had shifted, right? So from this perspective, if you go up to the top of the North Pole, that ice cap would be shifting upwards from this view. So that means before that would have happened here too. If there was a crustal shift, imagine the entire crust of the Earth is able to slide on top of the mantle as one piece. Then that means that Antarctica may have been sitting, shifted up from where the South Pole is, and not glaciated like this. The glaciers would have been over this way, either on the ocean or maybe this part of Antarctica was glaciated. I mean, it's hard to say without more science. But so I'm gonna get rid of Google Earth because I think it slows things down. Oh, its climate would have been probably, I would say, I mean, I don't know, until they can get down and really study for sure. But if the crustal shift occurred, which Randall Carlson, as far as I know, hasn't suggested that. I'm suggesting that based on where the ice was. Because when he was asked about like why was these glaciers coming all the way down into Canada, but they weren't over in Russia, he just said, "Well, that's a mystery. He don't know." But the crustal shift idea would explain that. So, if that impact was so big that it caused, if you imagine the mantle and the core of the Earth is here and the crust is this thin layer on the outside, got hit by a big freaking rock and it shifted a little bit. The entire thing shifted a little bit. So Canada would have come down away from the North Pole a little bit. And on the other side of the Earth down here, Antarctica would have been shifted to be centered on the South Pole. And that would move where the poles are in relationship to the land masses on top. The land masses would have literally all moved at once. But I don't know if that's true, but that would be something that would explain why the ice was where it was then and why it is where it is now. But because of that, if that's right, then because you're asking about the Azores Plateau, where Randall Carlson thinks is Atlantis, that means that the Azores came further south from where it was back then. So it would have been a little cooler there. The sea level was lower. I would say it would have been maybe temperate or something like that, temperate climate. It would have been a livable climate. Kind of depends on what the ocean currents are doing. I don't really know that. But it wouldn't have been glaciated, I don't think. I don't think it would have been glaciated, but it would have been livable conditions. Just I don't have enough real data to go off of on that, and I don't know of anyone who has proven anything in the regard, because you still have the the islands there that are above sea level still. So I don't know if anyone's done any work to figure out what the climate of the islands, the Azores, was towards the end of the Pleistocene. Rutha says, I have a rat shit finger post surgery long boring story. Rutha says, so where's the Atlantis you mentioned? I done closed Google Earth, but I can bring this one up again. I'll bring up this map. This is the map that he showed Joe Rogan on the last podcast that Randall was a guest, which was like last week, I think. Just a second. StreamYard, you need to make this easier. Boom. You see, that's where the you see the where the plates come together, the crustal plates. So that greenish area in the middle, it's pretty much all under sea level right now, except for the islands that are still up above sea level there. But the sea level has risen hundreds of feet. And you see to the right there where Spain's at, and you see the Strait of Gibraltar where the pillars of Hercules or Heracles were. And the description of Atlantis is that it's beyond the pillars of Hercules or Heracles. So that's exactly where it should be. It's, you go out and there it is. Cheese Freak is here. Welcome. North Alabama Crypt is here. Welcome. Everybody's saying hi. Okay. So that's a totally different location. And Jimmy said, saying it's and other people are saying as well, that it's that it's the Eye of the Sahara, which is south of in Africa there. It's south from the pillars of Heracles. So it's I mean, it still may be it, but I think Randall might be have a better hypothesis here. The location's right. One of the points Randall made was that the Eye of the Sahara was I think it was too big. Like the measurements didn't add up. It may have the right shape and structure and stuff, but the measurements don't match, and the location doesn't match as well as the Azores does in the middle of the Atlantic. Maybe we should ask Admiral Byrd. Well, how much of that do we know is true? The Admiral Byrd stuff. Rutha says the whole mantle shifts, lands mass shift periodically. We know that. Well, you're talking about normal plate tectonics. What I'm talking about is like imagine the skin on an orange is loose, and you could move it. Like, what are those things called where the spear, there are different spears inside of each other and they move around? The crustal shift hypothesis is that some major impact occurs, a big asteroid or something, and that could cause the entire crust of the earth as one piece, one big, spherical piece, to shift a little bit from where it was. So the poles are still the same. The Earth is still rotating, because the bulk of it is that mantle and the core, and the crust is just this thin layer on the outside. So the theory is that the entire thing, the entire crust can shift as one unit if impacted by a big enough object. So it's not the same as plate tectonics. Ruthless says waters shift with and after it. Crust will allow shift to occur with minimal geological damage, in your opinion. Donald says, Lockbeard, have you seen this throwback video standing put out recently with the young female? I fear for her safety and not from the Bigfoots. This guy is creepy. Standing put up a video, huh? A throwback video? Maybe we should ask Standing, were there Bigfoots in Atlantis? Did they hold seats on the city council? And did they all get wiped out, or did they have superior knowledge that said, you know what, these humans are stupid. They don't even know a rock is coming to kill them all. So let's go hide somewhere safe. I have this. It's not really a hypothesis. It's this hope that if we were to get in a time machine and go back in time to the previous civilization, that we would find humans and Sasquatch freely interacted at the time, and as equals in a massive civilization, and then somehow had a falling out, which is why Sasquatch don't want anything to do with us right now. They're holding a grudge because there's probably a lot of reasons to hold a grudge against humanity. We're kind of assholes. But no, I haven't seen it. I don't really make it a point to keep up with Standing too much, because I think he's a hoaxer. I'm not sure, but I think he is. Or maybe he got some real stuff. I mean, the sun shines. But I'm just not I'm just not buying it with Standing. Just not buying it. Orange skin analogy, good analogy. Well, thank you, Ruthless. All caps. Pole shift can do that as well. Well, you're talking about the magnetic pole shift. Now, the magnetic pole shift, I mean, that's a I might be able to go with that. I don't know. So, and I don't know if you're saying the same thing that I think. And that's because we know that the magnetic pole flips every so often. Geologists know this very well. We can see it by studying the rocks and the orientations of magnetic minerals. We know it flips every so often. But the question is how much does that affect the surface? Does it cause a massive disaster? Or does the flipping of the pole, the field flips, so the crust has, it's matter. It's made of fields too, so it's used to being lined up with that magnetic pole the way it was. So if the pole, I don't know if I can't demonstrate this with my hands very well. So if the pole, the North Pole flips like that and it's going down now, the crust kind of wants to follow with it. So it may torque it a little bit and make it move a little bit. But I mean, I don't know if it's going to be able to pull it all the way around though. Because if the crust is kind of sitting, if the crust, well, if the crust is kind of not firmly attached to the innards of the planet, and that's where the change in the magnetic field's coming from. Does that magnetically try to drag the crust around. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, it's getting in some heavy speculation there. Rutha says, I don't know the poles could remain at a constant with impact either. I don't know poles could remain at such a constant with impact either. Well, moving the I think it's far more likely that the crust could shift than you're talking about the inside of the planet moving. Yeah, I don't see an impact really doing much there because that's the main mass of the planet. Danny says, "Oh my God, I fell asleep. Long day at a flea market today. Yeah, that'll wear you out." Donald says, "You got to check out the Cringe is Deep Withstanding. Check it out." Where is he? Is he got a YouTube channel? I mean, I assume he does, but Standing Eoterra Cryptids, welcome. He says Standing is a pathological liar and con man. He may have caught a glimpse of a Sasquatch, but his Sasquatches in his mockumentary Discovery Bigfoot are hoaxers. Donald says, I don't usually follow him, but the title caught my eye. Sandra says, my daughter brought me a cheeseburger pizza. Never had one before. Cryptid says, Kia or Sandra, how are you this Super Bowl evening? Rutha says, yes, I don't know either, Lock. Refreshing. We can say that with all honesty. Refreshing. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Donald says, sounds good, Sandra. I'm busting into some brisket myself. Rutha says, Pole apparently can get further procession and return. It doesn't have to flip. Cheese Freak says, the only thing I think is real from Todd is the fear in his voice when he was in the dark and had something right there. Mid South says, I just watched a standing video all the way through. I was impressed, kind of. Rutha says, my understanding is that 40% field loss becomes inevitable pole flip. Yeah. The pole, yeah, we know for a fact the poles flip every so often. It's written in the rocks. It's the geologists have known that for a while. Cheese Freak says, although there was that Apple thing. Hey there, Cryptids, doing good. Thank you, my friend, says Sandra. Ruthless says, wow, that last bit about the field dragging the crust. Food for thought, mate. Well, I try. Gotta earn my keep, right? Yeah, I think, possible. It's possible. But, with the level of disaster and the changes and where the ice is and stuff, I think the younger Dryas impact may have done it. May have shifted the crust, but we kind of need to prove that, and always keeping an eye out for some kind of proof. If we can find, because how you find sites that have astronomical alignments. So if we can find some really old sites with astronomical alignments, and we can tell what they're supposed to line up with, but they don't, but it makes sense. It makes sense if the crust shifted, if you were to imagine it shifted back, that those alignments would be just perfect. But of course, someone's got to be considering that. They got to actually have that hypothesis to start with. If they're not even considering that possibility, they might think, well, this shit ain't aligned with anything. and then how they know what it's supposed to be aligned with. There's just so many what ifs, and how do you know, and did you even think of it to even, have anyone figure this out? Donald says, to Cheese Freak, yeah, but I think Standing is an A-list actor. Sylvanic Bigfoot is his channel. Oh, yeah. Sylvanic Bigfoot. Let me see if I can find that stupid channel. I've seen it before. It's just I have no motivation to go to his channel. Sylvanic Bigfoot. Um, 2 days ago, Natasha meets Bigfoot. 33-minute video. So what do we?
Good day, everybody. My name's Tom.
Well, didn't he used to have a little more manly look about him? So who's the woman supposed to be? I don't know. Is that his wife or something? Can't see very well. Can't see very well. Does she actually meet Bigfoot in this? I can't get a look at it. Why? Who is it? I can't see the person. Damn typos. Well, take your time, Ruthless. Take your time. We got time. Cheeseburger pizza from Domino's is the shite. Ruthless says it's written in the rock. Lockbeard 20. I'm still in that line of yours, mate. Yeah, you can steal it. Compile it for me. Mid South says, I think that was fake to the growling video. Yes, astronomical alignments, not astrology moonbat shit. Yeah. Full of knowledge I never knew existed. Well, Thanks, Cheese Freak. The Great Conjunction, says Ruthless. Oh, a little reference to the Dark Crystal there. North Alabama Cryptid says, to Mid-South, true, but he sure helped Les Stroud believe, so thumbs up to that. The more believers, the merrier. Oh. You think Les Stroud really believes, or he just looking to use Bigfoot to make money off of it? He's probably got a team of people out there pushing down trees so he can act freaked out about it. I'm having a hard time buying it. Just having a hard time buying it. Better get some power to this sucker or I'm going to be off for a second. All right, we're good. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been watching Les Stroud, so I'm just not sure. I wasn't sure about him just as a survivalist, and then he started doing this, and I was like, this guy's just about to, hunch on the Bigfoot community's leg and try to use the subject to for his own financial gain. I wouldn't have a problem with it if I thought he was legit, right? Because, you know, science requires funding, right? But I'm not sure that that's what he's actually trying to find shit. And besides, these shows, if any of these shows find Bigfoot, well, there's not going to, you know, need to be much finding Bigfoot shows anymore. You know, it'd be over. We found that bitch, and you know, I mean, and not for true scientists. True scientists are going to want to study this thing and learn all about it and figure out its natural history and, you know, what its origin is, and, you know, do they have culture? Which I think they do. I think they do. They got to. Even chimps have culture, for fuck's sake. But yeah, I just don't know if I'm buying Les Stroud's act. Sandra says she's freaking. I want a cheeseburger. I would eat a cheeseburger, but I'm happy that she bought me anything, so I'll eat it and like it. He probably told that to her years ago. You're gonna eat that and like it. Cheese Freak says Donald Fuller. I put him as a B-list actor. Donald says the cringe is all through it. Some chick he brings out in the woods. So, huh? She like a groupie or something. It's pretty yummy. It's yummy, I promise. Mid South says North Alabama. He's brought many people to the belief of the subject, but I don't think he's ever filmed an actual Sasquatch except his Muppets. Rose Harry says, hey, what's going on, Lockbeardians? Not much, Joe. Welcome. We think we're looking at a image of Atlantis. Well, hopefully the right one this time, because you know the other one may not be what we were talking about before. May not be the right location. North Alabama Cryptid says Lockbeard. Just my thoughts. Les has Sasquatch Chronicles. Pretty good stories from people. Sasquatch Chronicles. Weren't they involved in some shenanigans? Cheese Freak says Donald Fuller, in my opinion, any girl who goes into the woods with standing has a few loose screws. Ritza says, oh boy, beliefs of others. One's own held beliefs are bad enough. Chessboard, what's up? He says, hello, Lockbeard and all. Papa Craig's here. He says, if you want culture, come on over to the Roundup, Hoedown, and Rocky Mountain Oyster Feed at the Grange Hall. Well, you know, a good hoedown sounds. Wait a minute, what do you mean by hoedown? North Alabama says the Mid-South, yes, those were awful. I do agree with that for sure. Everybody's saying hi to Papa. You came to see Atlantis? Well, you gotta, if you want the full thing, Randall Carlson is putting on a documentary. It's about 6 hours long in 2 parts. You gotta pay for it though. I'm putting the link in the chat if you want to check it out. It's like $33 for both parts, where he explains why he thinks that in the middle of the Atlantic Oceans, the Azores Plateau, he thinks that's the true location of Atlantis, and it's just mostly below sea level now. Joe's not eating any testicle off of any animal. Papa Craig says, hoedown is a dance, square dance usually. Oh. So you don't throw a hoedown and Never mind. Yeah, there's a link if y'all want to purchase and watch Randall Carlson's deal. I can't remember what day it's on. Oh yeah, February 20th. It looks like it's February 20th. Part 1, immediate on-demand viewing, February 20th. Streaming Part 2. Not entirely sure what that means, but anyway. That's where it's at if you want to see it. Although he's covered a lot of the information on his normal show, Cosmographia, on the Randall Carlson channel. So you could pick up a lot of it. Actually, this image here is what he showed to Joe Rogan on the recent episode that Randall was a guest talking about this. Yep. That's the kind of hoedown I was thinking about. Everybody saying hi. It happens. Behind the haystack. How the hell you been, Papa? North Alabama says, Lockbeard, had fun, got to run, make another video for my channel. See y'all later. See you later, North Alabama. I need to get in more of a habit of, I mean, do I really need to? All right. We took this map down. And I'll bring up North Alabama's channel in a second. But first, since I got this pulled up, look at that. I'm not going to play it because how much you going to bet if he finds out about this, he's going to try and challenge, Creative Commons and all that. I don't need any shit. Anyway. So he just took some random lady out there, huh? Was she over 18? Was she over 18? Mid-South says, been watching about an island. I can't remember the exact pronunciation of it, but something like Noctipal, where it's made out of these salt stones. Don't know if I'm familiar with that. His mouth is open. Mr. Lee's here. Welcome. What's up? Joe says, good to hear, Papa. Cheese Freak says, what the hell? Todd shaved his beard too? Must be a Lockbeard fan. I don't know about that. I'm trying like hell to grow mine back. Once it gets enough length, I can have my beard lock reattached. It'd be like it was never gone. And then attach the rest as locks as well. Which I was going to turn it all in the locks anyway. Mid-South says they believe an alien race helped build it. Not more of that shit again. Jesus. Everybody sells humanity short. We've had the ability to build great technological civilizations for, probably probably a couple 100,000 years. Look at how long this one take to rise. I mean, if we count okay, since the Younger Dryas impact occurred, until now, that's 13,000 years. I mean, we could have had a rise and fall of civilization freaking, 15 times. And most of it's just forgotten. But you got these people out here trying to say, oh, we couldn't have done it. We were dumb. It must have been the aliens. They want aliens involved so badly. Not a lick of evidence. The whole Ancient Aliens show, not one shred of evidence that aliens had anything to do with squat. Oh, this looks like an airplane. Well, it just means that maybe humans figured out how to build airplanes in the past. And then we forgot, and then we learned again, and then we forgot, and then we learned again. I mean, if you want to jump to something getting into the woo zone, why don't you say, well, no, a psychic who saw the future, saw those airplanes, and he carved those little figurines to try and show people what he saw in his prophetic visions. You could have said that. Nope, we're going to aliens with this bitch. Papa Craig says the deeper they dig, the older advanced civilizations they find. Once we're able to more effectively look at the sea floor on the continental shelves, we're going to find so much shit. It's under, thousands of years of sediment right now. So we got to go in, we got to be able to dig it out and check those areas out. And it's going to be harder if there's an older civilization to look at than the one prior to the Younger Dryas, because, I mean, they occupied the whole world. So in their infancy, they may have destroyed most of the evidence of the previous civilization, just as ours has. Like, there may have been like artifacts that were made of gold melted down for the gold, and shit like that. Rubbish weather for Mr. Lee. Sorry about that, Mr. Lee. Damn, I have to take my dog out. Says, she's bugging you. Yeah. One of these dogs went with me out in the woods earlier. He seemed a little nervous a couple times. I was like, you see that Sasquatch out there? There could be one out there. I don't know. The other night, they were freaking out at the wood line over here. I didn't see anything. I couldn't hear anything, but they thought something was out there. They were freaked out about whatever it was. Anyway, I put that trail cam out there. I didn't hide it. I just wanted to get it out. I need to find well, the way I want to go about it, I need to, it's pretty involved. It'd be an involved process. So I was just walking out and walking back in. That's not the way I think it should be done. If you walk out there and they are out there, they're going to see whatever you do. And if you leave anything out there, they're going to know. You need to be able to pull this off without them seeing you do it. Otherwise, it's pointless. And it needs to be hidden well enough that they're not going to spot it. Can't just strap it to a tree. That's not going to freaking work. Mid-South says, you would just have to see the show to understand what I'm talking about. Oh, looks, I missed the other comments. How did I miss that? Yeah, but this is built on an island and the stones were hundreds of tons of weight, built in square blocks precision, no type of way of transport these stones from where they came from. Yeah, but that don't mean aliens. That don't mean aliens. Like I've said before on here about those structures that are like that, is that that they had a command of anti-gravity technology. They had to. It's the only way to justify building things that way. Because today we, like, even now, as advanced as we are, we'll build out of bricks or cinder blocks, or we don't go and cut the biggest freaking rock we can, because one, we can't even really lift any of this shit, and then getting it perfectly precise and then moving it and transporting it to where it's got to go. It's just way beyond our ability to build all the shit that we found built on the planet in ancient civilizations. So I think that the only plausible theory is that that civilization back then had anti-gravity technology. It actually made more sense to cut one big freaking block instead of making a bunch of little ones, or cutting a bunch of little ones. It made more sense to cut one big block and move the whole damn thing, because they could just turn gravity off or drastically reduce it to whatever they needed. And of course, a lot of people hear that and they're like, "Oh, that's Star Trek shit." Gravity can be manipulated. We're It's just that, one, I don't think the government's going to tell us that they've got it, the technology figured out. Two, a lot of people don't got a firm enough graft on the right science, because they've been taught all this Einstein bullshit. And like, if you want to understand why, you just need to go and check out Ken's channel, because he explains this shit. He explains it, and he's got little devices that cancel out a little bit of gravity. So if you can cancel out a little bit, you can eventually figure out to cancel it out more until you got just total control over gravity, basically. Western Bigfoot. Oh, he's saying hi to Joe. You would just have to see the show to understand what I'm talking about. No, I mean, it sounds like, because there's a lot of structures, like, because they can, where the stones are, they can they can see geologists can look at the rock and figure out what quarry it came from. A lot of times they find the actual quarry, and it's like, this quarry is way the hell over here. It's hundreds of miles away. How did they get this here? And of course, a lot of people want to jump. Oh, it had to be aliens. No. Why has it got to be aliens? Why would aliens come from light years away and then help humans move a bunch of rocks? It don't even make any damn sense. And then they try to say, because they were trying to use us for slaves to mine gold, or they wanted to breed with us. Okay, how does a species from another planet have any genetic capability with us to start with? And what would be the purpose? Like, as humans, when we go to space, are we going to go to a planet and say, look, your asses are going to mine gold with us, and we're going to fuck you? we're going to make some hybrids with you. The whole damn thing don't make any sense. But I think you got those people out there who want to believe that they are part alien, and there's just no way you can hit them with any logic saying, no, you're not part alien. We know for a fact you're not part alien. We know the genetics of humans. We've got the comparison with our nearest ancestor, or nearest relative, the chimpanzees. We can even see where the genes line up between two chromosomes that are in chimps that fuse to form one chromosome in humans. We can see it just fine. We're not aliens, but they'll come up with excuses for why we're part alien and shit. And no, Occam's razor this stuff. What the simplest explanation is the most likely explanation. Aliens flew here from far away and decided to help us move a bunch of rocks, or did humans just figure out how to move big freaking rocks? That makes more sense. Especially now knowing that control of gravity is possible. Mid-South says, you would just have to... Oh, I already saw that comment. Papa says, no. Oh, no, kidding, Lockbeard. I wonder how many secrets of the universe are hidden down there. Probably aliens. Shit. God dang aliens. God dang aliens. Mr. Lee says, I'm having a sneaky smoke out the window. Too cold to stand outside. Sasquatch will see you doing it, Lockbeard. Yeah, I'm sure if they were out there, they saw. My only hope is there weren't any nearby where I was at. I have no particular reason to think that they're going to be there. It was a place that I could get to, and there's a little bit of water flowing through that spot, and I was able to hide it a little better. It's not strapped to a tree. It's like in like a multi-trunk tree, like 4 different trunks with some branches leaned up around it. So it's kind of in between. So hopefully things would be less noticeable out there. Someone else had a trail cam not too far from there that I spotted, and it was just strapped to a tree. Something like that, Sasquatch is going to see real easy. If I spot it, they're going to spot it even quicker than I would. And no, I didn't take their trail cam. That shit pisses me off. People doing that crap, freaking assholes. It says that's what I'm talking about. Papa Craig says some people thought the Egyptians moved their big stones with boats. I know some people think that, but I don't think that remotely explains how they pulled this off. That would still be a huge, tedious chore to pull off. And then, I mean, even if you were able to get it on a boat and move it, and then get it set right with those perfect joints, you need to have absolute control over gravity to do what they did. And the sites are just everywhere. They're all around the world. Like, it's just too much for, because then you got to figure, because they were trying to say in Egypt, right, that well, the water was higher at the time, and it allowed them the ability to manipulate the water, and whatever. Like, okay, you might be able to sell someone on that site, but all the sites around the world that use these megalithic structures, these gigantic stones, no, just can't buy it. At least they're graduating away from ramps with wooden rollers and ropes and slaves and crap. At least they're getting a little off of that stupid hypothesis. Mr. Lee says you must be very stealthy and outsmart the Sasquatch. It might not be possible to outsmart the Sasquatch, Mr. Lee. What if they are psychic? What if they do mind speak? They could have been in my mind the whole damn time. But I'm leaning away from that, because if the woo is real, how does Sasquatch ever make a mistake? They do get seen sometimes. They do make mistakes, which means they're probably just a people, just a wild people. Papa says, now I just saw something about ancient civilizations making mega machines to lift stones of 1,200 tons. Yeah, they're going to bend over backwards to try and explain that shit. I mean, how many stones is in a pyramid? I mean, that would take forever, and it would still be a tedious project. It would take like probably generations to pull off. And then you got to ask yourself, well, how did they stay on task that long? I mean, anything we try to do in America, every time the administration changes, we like, oh, we'll stop doing this shit and we'll start doing this shit, and we're going to take money away from that program, put it into these programs. America could never pull off a multi-generational project. It would never work. Donald Fuller says to Joe, I'm working on your story. I'll send it to you when it's done. for your vetting. Miss South says the government has many technologies figured out that will never be told to us. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to have to just figure it out for ourselves. Cheese Freak says, I'm not sure. I said hello to you, and Nana. Yeah, alien rubbish. Hey, it'd be cool if aliens were dropping by every so often to say hi, but these people just they get sucked in. Miss Lee says giants. Oh crap. See, yeah, there's this whole thing out there where, well, the giants were here and picking up those big rocks was not a problem for them. Still no evidence for giants that big though. None at all. Ruthless says defining what aliens are on bullshit concepts and reifications. Fark me. Defining what aliens are on bullshit concepts. I'm not sure I totally got that one. Chief Chick says, I bet it was the Nephilim. Okay, maybe. Lockbeard, your idea isn't that bad. I don't mind mining gold. I would if some aliens overlords did show up and force us to dig up gold. See, in that thing, like that whole theory, that's from Stitching, that wackadoodle nonsense crap about humans mining gold. Why? It don't even make any sense. Like, you could find an asteroid flying around in space that got a lot higher gold content than the crust of the Earth, and just grab the right asteroid, and you're probably in good shape, along with all the other precious metals. It's just such a human, level thinking. Oh, those aliens needed our gold, so they enslaved us to get it. It don't even make any sense. Joe says, well, that was just fucking awesome, Donald Fuller. I hope you remembered to include the fight with the lake monster. Let's go, Joe Burrow. You have mined gold before. Mid-South says, we can't say on how they think when we can't even have their existence explained first, not to mention the existence of the Sasquatch. You mean the aliens? No, of course not, but I still find it far-fetched that aliens would come here and enslave humans. I just, and there's not a shred of evidence for that. That's just somebody's nonsense that they made up. There's no that whole Ancient Alien TV show was all a big sales pitch to make you, convince you that aliens had to be involved. Aliens did not have to be involved in any of that. All that was evidence that somebody did that stuff, and the only somebody we know was here for sure was us. So Occam's razor would dictate that it was probably humans that did all that stuff. Gotta fit that in. Papa says, I've never been stealthy or smart enough to sneak up on the Sasquatch, Mr. Lee. You must remain still, Grasshopper, and wait for the Sasquatch to approach from the south. Gosh. Ruthless says, I bet meatbags that were the earliest fire starters found tribes that help them in godlike status. What about Stonehenge? And Papa Craig says, Mr. Lee, gold mining is a lot like swinging a pick, breaking rocks with a big hammer, and shoveling with the wide end of the shovel. Very unglamorous. Yeah, the ones that look like they were partially molten or something. Now that may have happened in some cases. That would indicate they had some ability to heat the stones in place with maybe some kind of laser technology, some kind of high energy technology. But we need more evidence for that. I think it is interesting those structures that are like that. Reward is gold. Heard it for a few years. Yeah, there's those out there proposing that something like that occurred. Mr. Hughes says the Egyptian kids were on spinach from the day they were born, helping to move the rocks just like Daddy. Shit. Just a few years back, they found something in a stone. Cheeseburg says, okay, so maybe the second part of your theory I may not mind. Papa Craig says, yeah, all the gold in the crust of the earth came from space and meteors. Our original gold is at the center of our planet's core. Yeah, pretty much. Although some of it come up, it was through hydrogeologic hydrologic processes, dissolved and then deposited. So some of it, did come up, but a lot of it did come from meteors. But gold comes up in dissolved in water and then deposits. Unidentified metal objects. Egyptians had a teleporter when they ate their magic mushrooms after sacrificing Alice in Wonderland. Well, if what's his nuts? Damn, I'm losing his name right now. If he's right, they may very well have had a teleportation device. Papa Craig, that's most likely true. Mid-South, he says. Can't put it on the internet if it ain't true. Joe says, if you want to know more about the pyramids, talk to Dr. Zawi Hawass, foremost Egyptologist in the realm. Yeah, that guy's a snake in the grass and a liar. He should never be allowed near any archaeological site ever again. Probably deserves to go to jail almost, but used to mind go with Parker every week when I had a TV. I don't know if that counts, chessboard. I don't know if that counts. Yeah. Howace is a snake in the grass. Yeah, he's part of the cover up, pretty much. Like they don't want us to know things like a chessboard may remember the name of the scientist who because he believed like the age of the Sphinx, right? But then when he got on site of the Sphinx, it's carved down into the rock, so there's like a rock enclosure, bedrock enclosure. Well, that bedrock has erosional features in it that would have taken thousands and thousands of years to occur. So when he got on that site, he was like, something's very wrong here. There is no way the Sphinx is here and only a few thousand years old. No fucking way. So something's wrong. Anyway, Hawass is part of the people that try to hide these things from us. That the Sphinx is way older, the pyramids are way older. They don't want us to know. For some reason they don't want us to know that there was a way more ancient civilization responsible for all the best shit that we find. that they can't hide. You know, they can't really hide the pyramids, right? So they got to come up with some other explanation. Mr. Lee says, be right back. Well, Mr. Lee, we'll be done by the time you get back because we got to get off in about 24 minutes because, well, I assume Nikki's still coming on tonight unless she's going to be sucked into the Super Bowl. I don't know. Hopefully not. Midsouth says they're saying that Hawass is in the duck group called Hooked on Quack. Oh, gosh. Okay, so let me see here. What was I going to do? I forget stuff sometimes. North. North Alabama cryptid. I'll be damned. You know, you'd be surprised how many times I go to the channel and find out I was not subscribed. All right, so everybody, make sure everybody knows when you go to someone's channel. So while I'm at it, you got to hit that bell and then you got to hit all. Otherwise, YouTube will be a douche nozzle about this shit. So there's North Alabama cryptid. He said he had to leave and go work on something for his channel. I might as well stick his link in chat while I'm at it, huh? Bam. Talking about Swaller. No. I was thinking about someone else. No Nikki tonight. Oh, the humanity. No. Sasquatch is more important than the Super Bowl. I probably just pissed off a million football fans. Nikki announced no show tonight. Tataria, or however you spell that word. Oh boy. Who knows? Miss House says, I hate any sport that involves a ball. Well, that's the one that's perplexing about me. The football is not round like a ball. A football is shaped more like a turd than a ball. And it's colored like one too. Did it evolve from some sport where somebody ran around a field tackling each other trying to get the turd? I mean, what's going on with this? I don't understand. The Super Bowl's on, I guess. That's what they're saying. I had completely forgotten about it until I started live streaming and somebody mentioned it. That's how far outside of my thought process the football goes. There is North Alabama Cryptids channel link if anybody needs it. Unless it's thrown by the tall man. Yes, the Super Bowl's on, says Joe. Cheese Freak says, did you say swaller? Mean people suck, nice people swallow. I thought nice people did both things. Blow that up. As he uploaded something 5 hours ago. I didn't even know how many channels were out there until I started like doing the TV guide for everyone. Because then I was actively looking for channels I didn't know about, and people would tell me about channels too. So there's a lot of damn Bigfoot channels out there. Oh yeah. There's Nikki's no show today.
Hey everybody, this is Nikki with Hairy Man Hoaxes and Hoodwinks. Just a reminder, no show today. I'm gonna enjoy the Super
Stop
Bowl.
playing.
Hope you do too.
Stop playing. Stop playing. Robert Schock, yeah, was in line with Swaller's belief in the erosion that the Sphinx was older than the pyramids. Yeah, I think the pyramids are older too, actually. The older than what they tell us. Nikki is not on tonight, says Mr. Lee. Cheese Freak, I got one of my crewmates in a real argument with that one. Stop screen. Share screen. Yep. No show today, she says. No show. No show for Nikki. Now what are we going to do? Surprised you hear Mr. Lee, says Donald. Papa says lots of anthropologists think the Sphinx is older than the pyramids by a bunch. Yeah. And you see when they talk about how they don't think it, because they don't think it originally had a human face on it, that originally it probably was like a lion. And that's why that human head looks disproportionately small for the body it's on, is because they carved it out of the original lion head. Donald. Body odor is on in 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm sure Mr. Lee will go over there. Traitor. I don't blame y'all if you go over there. You can watch what you want. But it's bullshit, Odyssey. Donald says, oh, that's why Mr. Lee is still here. It's all good, Cheese Freak. Sandra Piper says, haha, Lockbeard. Yeah. Yeah. Just can't hide my feelings about it. And everybody's saying that they're not planning on doing another expedition. Cannot recall the names, but several of the pyramids were there and the Egyptians found them. Yeah, I think the Egyptians found every damn one of them, unless there's ones that are clearly made with an inferior technical ability and probably way smaller. I don't think the Egyptians built shit of note. Well, maybe they built a few things of note, but Papa says it don't take much thought to watch football so far. No great commercials either. I can do this too. Yeah. Well, sometimes there's funny commercials, but anymore, man, even the commercials are woke. Even the commercials are woke as hell. It's disgusting. Mr. Lee says, I have to check on the daily progress of Lockbeard's beard though. It's getting there. It'll come along, Mr. Lee. It'll come along. I guess there should be let me do a refresh on this. I think I have to go through and double check. I think I've got there's an issue with one of these. I think I've got all of my videos on Rumble now. And as long as everything works all right, so I'm on Rumble now. And then BitChute is still going to be a problem for a while. I might try contacting them and see if they can do something better because it was last year when I talked to them before about the problem. The problem was they couldn't bring over all the existing videos. They could only start what syncing involved just every video I make from now on, right? From that point on. So all the earlier live streams did not come over the BitChute, but the later ones did. Odyssey's problem is I got to have more subscribers. And also there was a problem with how long the videos are too. So I got in contact with them to try and figure out some, a way around that. And so let me see here. Anyway, they responded to me. Something in the email, but I'm still only got the first 4 episodes of Phenomena over there, and that's because I manually uploaded those over there. So I was trying to talk them into syncing up and bringing all my videos over there as to Odyssey as well. So I don't know if that's going to happen. If Odyssey can't make an exception, because the bare minimum I would need is 300 subscribers. I probably got a while to get to that. And then the length of the videos is an issue too. And it's weird because they got it set well, if you have this many subscribers on YouTube, then you can upload video. You can sync up videos of this length. But if you have a different number of subscribers on YouTube, then the length is you can upload videos of that length. I'm like, why don't you guys just sync people up and call it good? Why have we got to make this difficult? Just do you want people to come over to Odyssey or not? Should I go ahead? This is an 18-second video of her telling us no.
Hey everybody, this is Nikki with Harry Man Hoaxes and Just a reminder, no show today. I'm gonna enjoy the Super Bowl. Hope you do too. And even if you don't, do something fun with your family. Love you guys. Later.
Oh. I think everybody here is already familiar with her channel, but if anybody here is not, while I got it pulled up, I might as well throw the link in chat. Bam. She's normally on at 6 p.m. on Sunday nights, Central Time. That would be midnight for Mr. Lee over there. Nikki has good hair today. Yeah. Well, I guess I could have put on there where that goes, but that's Nikki's link for anybody that needs it. Chessboard, I used to be pretty good at foosball, semi-pro. Let me check if I got my notifications set right. Let me make sure. Yeah. Another thing I think that's going on, a lot of people say this happens, is that YouTube unsubscribes you from people sometimes because they're douche nozzles like that. YouTube, there's a reason why I'm wanting to put my shit on these other platforms. Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute. It's because you suck ass. Joe says I'm going to do a show at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. Bigfoot Bowl after the Super Bowl party. Oh, really? Well, that makes me think we ought to bring up Western New York. Yep. Western New York Bigfoot Investigation Group. Let me copy that link while I'm at it. Actually, I'll just copy the link to the directly to it. How about that? Yeah. Bam. There's the link to Joe's after Super Bowl party. Says we'll talk about anything. Papa says I used to have to watch YouTube like a hawk to see who they unsubscribed me from. Yeah. Yeah. But man, I got so many subscribers there are so many subscriptions that I don't know. Because I can't possibly watch all these. But see, this account I use specifically for paranormal stuff. Like my other account is more other subject matter. So on this account, I'm subscribed, just to the Bigfoot, alien, ghost type stuff. See, like, and I kept like Bigfoot Odyssey. I'm still subscribed to them because I just, again, that has to do with the TV guide. I'm trying to be impartial about the TV guide, and my plan is to be subscribed to all those channels, even though I don't watch them, so that I could periodically check and make sure that their show's still going and stuff like that. I don't have to check Bigfoot Odyssey. We know they're still going. But like if I see one of these are supposed to be on right now and I don't see them live, then I can go to the channel and maybe drop them a message and say, hey, is there, did you discontinue your show? What's going on? Last night, here I'm going to open Squatch Watchers in another tab. And I need to switch tabs. Whoops. Let me drop this one off. Stop screen. Share screen. Let me check the chat here. There's a link to Joe's show tonight, guys. 9 p.m. Eastern, so that'll be 8 p.m. my time, Central Time, 2 hours from now. 2 a.m. for Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee, we expect to see you there. Papa says, if I smoke a bowl through Joe, my fingers will be catatonic. Uncle Bones, Pro Grip, remember that stuff. Mr. Lee says, what has happened to Hiveless B? Haven't seen him for ages. Oh, I don't know. He probably got tired of getting, well, last time he was here, he was attacking somebody. Anyway, I don't know what's up with him. I didn't feel the attack was justified, but Emperor used to foosball played in Germany. Stopped watching sports when the players started making millions. The Emperor used to give a loaf of bread to go to the Coliseum. Yeah. Thank you, for that, Lockbeard. They ain't a party without everyone. Yeah. Well, we're going to get a party over there at some point. Well, hopefully everybody here shows up. Hello, Uncle Bones. Yeah, Mr. Lee, I don't know how much I can say. Let's just say that. I don't know if you were here that night. I don't know if I want to go over it, but yeah. Rams are up by 7 already, says Joe, given the Super Bowl update. So anyway, I have so many subscriptions that I can't possibly watch all this stuff. Dang it. Can't possibly watch all this stuff. And some of these channels I do not like. I haven't been too secretive about some of the ones I do not like. But they are either Bigfoot oriented or not all of them are on the guide. Because not all of them have shows that fit the guide, but yeah. So anyway, last night after we were done here, we all went over. Well, not all of us. Some of us went over to What If It's All True with Jim Blanton, and we saw him interviewing the Squatch Watchers, which is this channel. They seem like nice guys. Cinder Piper says, everyone watching Super Bowl will be 2 sheets in the wind by Joe's showtime. Probably so. They become catatonic. It's all good. Mr. Lee says, I must have missed that one. Yeah, you may have missed that one. It was unfortunate. Like, if someone is specifically making a claim without any justification, okay, I could get it. But it seemed like he was coming in hot on someone, and apparently there was other reasons behind it that I was not aware of. So I'm sitting here trying to say, look, there's no justification for this attack, and just I don't know, Mr. Lee. Sandra Piper says, so will I be. It's all fair. 2 sheets to the wind. Mr. Hugh says, catch you later, Lockbeard. Peace. All right, see you later, Mr. Hugh. Thanks for dropping by. Troy's here, says, call the ball. Call the ball. Oh, yeah, you were the one asking about Randall Carlson's thing the other night. Earlier in the chat, I posted the link to the where you can go. It costs $33 to watch it. It's going to be on the 20th, I think, where it's like a 6-hour thing in 2 parts. So, yeah, just being a butt. Now you may not want to pay $33 to watch it though, so what you could do is go to Randall Carlson's channel, and a lot of the information he'll be talking about in that presentation is on his channel and his live streams and stuff somewhere. Maybe not all of it, but a lot of it is. So you could still pick up a lot of information just by watching the Randall Carlson channel. Yeah. Here, I will, let me put it back up on the screen for a little bit. Take the Squatch Watchers down. Anyway, and I'll put this link in chat again, Troy. So this is where he'll make his case for his thoughts that Atlantis is actually located in the Azores area, and the evidence that that area was once a larger land mass. It wasn't just islands. It was above sea level at some point. Is Steve having a show tonight? I messaged him, but never got a reply. Oops. You're looking well. Got the link? You got it? Yeah. The prices are on there too. I got to scroll down so you can either get each part individually. Like here's part 1's on demand now, I guess, and then part 2 streams February 20th. That's how it's working. Or you can get both parts for $33, but yeah. Anyway, science takes funding, man. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, like, you know, like even like last night, I was watching who was I watching last night? Anyway, they were talking about Tall Winds was on with him as a guest, but anyway, they were talking about people that are in the Bigfoot thing just for money and stuff, and I've said similar stuff. You know, it's stupid that a lot of money goes to people that we know had no interest in actually proving shit when it comes to Bigfoot. And meanwhile, people who would like to actually go do some shit, a lot of cases have, you know, some scientific background, aren't getting funding because, you know, they just aren't. No one's going to give them funding to hunt something that, you know, the government sure says hell isn't going to fund it. Universities probably aren't going to do it. But people out here, you know, are giving money to people who are scamming them for their money. That's all they're doing. And they're not going to ever actually find shit. They'll go out in the woods, sure, and stumble around and say, "What was that?" And that's about all you're going to fucking get. So that, that's where we're at, because, so many people don't know, well, who to trust. If I want to, give money to someone to try and investigate this freaking thing, who do I give it to, Well, you never know. Scam artists are good, man. They can pitch it well and make you think that they're legit. And before you know it, you can't wait to pull your wallet out and give them your money. And, and that's why we're here. That's why, because, people like, what's his nuts? He scammed people twice. I'm forgetting his name right now. We've talked about him before. It's like, if he did it once, why did people trust him a second time? It's, the same reason people keep trusting that preacher who keeps predicting the end of the world, and he keeps getting it wrong, and then people still believe him the next time he makes a prediction. He's like, well, I was off by this, I misinterpreted that verse, or whatever bullshit he tells his congregation. He tells them everything but the part in the Bible where it says no man will know the day or the hour. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that part, but I'm going to predict the end of the world, even though it says specifically I can't predict the end of the world. Miss Lee says I will second favorite gender. Miss Lee says I will email Hivesby later to see if he is okay. He wants my meatball recipe, even though he's a flat earther. Shit. Miss Lee's going to turn those meatballs into patties. I'm telling you. Rum and Coca-Cola, go Rams. Joe says, no, Steve is off tonight. I just talked to him. Geez, the girls always love my ginger locks, says Mr. Lee. Oh, you're welcome, Troy. Donald says, that was, and sorry the other night, like I meant to put this up the other night, and I totally forgot when it got to later, and I don't know what happened. Donald says, that was my drink of choice. Harry Man, hoaxes and hoodwinks. Oh yeah, and also hi Nikki. We looked at your video saying you're not going to be on tonight. We were all very sad, but we hope you enjoy the game. Donald says that was my drink of choice. Oh, I already read that one. Nana's a ginger. Feels low, shot away from my ginger locks, dude. Perfect for the game and food. I just posted what I made. Oh, did you? Papa says, oh, Nikki's here drinking one of my favorites. Have a sip for me, would you? Have to check it out. Michael Haywood, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Everybody say hi to Michael. Mid-South says that was interesting. Jesper says, weren't you on Jim Bland? I was in chat. I was just in the chat. Ruthless says, oh dear, the exclusion, the overt exclusion. Oh, you're talking about that preacher? Yeah. You need more sugar. That isn't how you normally spell the word more, is it? Just Uncle Bones, hey brother, says Michael. Yeah, pull old Randall's stuff down. I have no idea. Something about sugar. Something about something looks like sugar. Ruthless says it's a Nietzschean a netizen way, a netizen, oh shit, way of old Lucky, like typing. Well, I can't understand half of what you're saying. Ike, typing eek, Ike. I'm thinking of outlawing netizens up in this bitch. I can't understand the words that are coming out of their keyboards. Donald says, anyone got timestamps of when Carrie said no 168 part 2? It was my understanding that he wasn't planning on doing a new expedition. Like, I guess they were going to do another expedition and now they're not. I didn't take it. I didn't hear anything about them not doing a part 2 of the 168 non-documentary that they did the supposed part 1. Like, everything's jacked up with this whole thing. Like, I thought there was just going to be 168 documentary, one thing, and then it comes out and it's a steaming turd and everybody's pissed off, and then we're hearing, oh, there's supposed to be another part to it. Oh, there's not supposed to be another part to it. There's supposed to be one documentary, damn it. Where the fuck is it? Because there wasn't hardly anything in that, you know. It was a total nothing. Total nothing burger. Netizen. I'm going to throw all netizens in jail. Ruthless, are you high? What's up with your typing, dude? I don't. Mr. Lee. What's going on here is he's doing it on purpose. I'm trying to encourage him to speak English in my chat. English. We are an English speak. We don't speak netizen. We don't speak netizen. I'm having a real hard time reading half this shit. I need to speak and spell. I need to speak and spell. Mr. Lee, buggered finger and a bum on the left hand. No, some of this stuff you're spelling weird on purpose. There's no way you spelled more like whatever the heck that was. Donald Carey said he lost some of the recorded material. Sure he did. Sure he did. When are people going to stop believing, half the words that are coming out of his mouth? I'm sorry. I just fucking shit. Do you not hear the words coming out of my mouth? Yes. Yes. I speak very goodly Englandian. Come on, Ruthless. Speak English in my chat. Is he doing another expedition? Donald says. That was my understanding, that they're not going to do another expedition, which is good because then he's not going to waste y'all's money for the nothing burger shit that the last one was, and yeah. And I don't know what Nikki's laughing at, but whatever's, maybe it's what Ruthless said. 168. Yep. Carrie's going to do another one. Are you talking about doing part 2 of the documentary for the 168 expedition they've already done? Or are you talking about going on a new expedition? Because that's the rumor floating around, is that there will not be another new expedition, and that Carrie thinks other people, well, that Carrie's going to be involved with, that Carrie thinks other people should go do something, but he's not going to. Which you'll be better off. If you guys can shave off some of the, look, don't take Carrie, don't take fucking Noel, don't take Zasky, and I'm sorry, don't take the Beast guys. Mm-mm. Did I say that? I did. I did. Expedition. So he's doing another expedition. Seems there was some info relayed to certain people that Carrie was out. Yeah, that's what people have been saying. So maybe the rumors are wrong. It's a problem with rumors. Where was the Squatch Dog or Steve or Mogion? Just 3. Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, if somebody's going to put together something that ambitious, need to keep all the scammers and liars out of it. And then, maybe you can pull something off. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't hold your breath because Sasquatch has been avoiding our asses for a long time. Yeah, I probably said more than I should have, Mr. Lee. I'm not going to say any more about it right now. Anyway, maybe another time. Maybe another time. Just saying, you got to be vigilant in this community for who you're putting your trust in for accurate information, who's ethical, who's just a hoaxer, who's a liar. Yeah, you probably don't, Mr. Lee. I've been thinking on this one for a long time, what I should say or about it. I don't think he has beef, just curious about all the footage, in my opinion. Mr. Lee may have detected there is a little bit of a beef, yes. But I don't want to say anything more about it right now. But yeah, where is the damn footage? Where's the footage? Where is the footage? I think if those of you that watch Mogiel Monster, he's let on that he has, some issues with the 168, how it turned out. Last night, the Lost Cryptids Conservatory also said some things along that line, that he had some problems with how things turned out. The tall ones spoke with him on camera for a little while on that deal. I'll actually, in fact, if you guys didn't catch that, we'll share the screen to that late live stream last night. Blake seemed fairly, fairly miffed about that kind of stuff and about people, using the Bigfoot community as just a way to make money who aren't interested in actually doing the work of investigating. There's some of us out here that would like to, but we can't afford what we need to do it, right? I mean, you can walk around the woods all day and you might see a Sasquatch, but are you going to bring back evidence without the proper equipment? Probably not. You had beef for dinner, Mr. Lee. Russell is not happy. Yeah. There's a lot of people not happy. A lot of people that was giving Bigfoot Odyssey money to and they got that nothing burger of a documentary that he put out. Cheese Freak said X'd out one of their members. What the hell? X'd out? Do what? I thought he was good with Bo. Not sure what you guys are referring to. Is he going back for round 2? Is who for round 2 of what? 168? I don't know. Nikki with a update on the Super Bowl touchdown 13 LA 3 Cincinnati, I guess that is. LA, is that Los Angeles and Cincinnati? I don't really. I assume the game is in fact football. I see footballs there. I'm only vaguely aware of what sport we're talking about. 14-3 Rams, says Papa. Donald says, I don't blame Mogs for being pissed. There were 2 groups out filming a doc. Was all one-sided. Yeah, that was pretty much said last night on the Lost Cryptids that you see on the screen there. And the link to that live stream is in the chat for anyone that wants to check out what was said. Blake is not pleased. He is not pleased with some bullshit. And Brent stepped in to give him some words of encouragement. You donated. You're bad. Hey, a lot of people donated, and then in the end, like you remember who was it that was in the chat here for a little while? I haven't seen him in a while. I'm forgetting his name, but he had donated, and then they banned him from the channel, I guess, because he said the wrong thing in chat or something. See, they banned the shit out of people in their chat, and they wonder why Bigfoot Odyssey, it may keep growing. I don't know, because you always got people discovering it anew. They never run across it before, so they're going to run across it and they're going to check it out and they're going to think, oh, this looks cool. Check this out. This looks like the real deal. No, it's not the real deal. Bigfoot Odyssey is not the real deal. I'm sorry, but Carrie completely has lost the trust of myself and many others in what he's doing there. Anyway, dang it, I wish I could remember the name of the person, but he was here a little bit in other chats, and he was not happy. He's like, how in the hell you going to ban somebody who's contributing money to your channel? When I mean, I can understand if you start dropping M-bombs in the chat. Okay, you kind of, your hands are tied, right? But he was probably just asking, some hard questions, and they ban the shit out of you. They don't want you asking legit questions, of their guests. God, that's another bot. Hide and block. Goodbye, bot. Get it off me. I got it, Papa. Yeah, there's the link to the Lost Cryptids Conservatory late show last night. So y'all should go if you want to check it out. Comment in his chat. Say Lockbeard sent us over here. Lockbeard sent us. Maybe fly a pirate flag while you're at it. Cheese Freak says Lost Cryptid got rid of the tall guy with the sweet Squatch dog. Yeah, he was saying he had to he didn't use the word disassociate with some, but that's basically what he has had to do, I guess. And I don't know all the details, but I mean, he said, you could see what he said if you want to. Cheese Freak said the camera guy from Lost Cryptid was all up in this shit. All up in this shit? Was it Livewire? I don't know. I don't know, Papa. Donald says I was a paying member. They banned me from chat. Oh, you too. See, you're not the only one. You are not the only one. I had to figure it out myself. Like they didn't even tell you. Like you were shadow banned, right? You were in there trying to chat, and it looked like your chats were there, but they weren't. Nobody else could see them, and that's shady shit there too. Like if I'm gonna ban you, I'm probably I'm not gonna shadow. Like I don't know if it'll. I don't even know how you do it for one thing. Like if I ban you, I'm gonna tell you, hey, you're fucking banned. I mean, hell, I'm even telling the bots, you're banned. So that's like if you're gonna ban someone, at least have the balls to tell them. Don't leave them sitting there chatting and thinking that they're still visible. That's just cowardly bullshit right there. You tell them. You fucking tell them if you're gonna do it. Shit. Met Carrie in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I'm not so sure he liked me. Oh well. Just can't people like, whoops, dude isn't. You can't trust him. I don't trust him. A lot of people don't trust him now. It's eventually going to catch up to his channel. I hope, because he deserves it. Whoops, I missed the. Must have missed the kick. Nikki's accurate. Mr. Lee says, I have no money. I have no money. Donald says, I was banned from comments mode made in Moog's comments. I was banned from comments made in. Oh, they banned you because of something you said over on Moog's show? Holy shit, dude. See, isn't that fucked up that they're over there checking other people's chats to make sure you didn't say anything wrong that they didn't like? That's some. See, I mean, hopefully the people that still watch Bigfoot Odyssey are hearing or listening to some of this shit. I mean, I hope they really are taking this in. Donald says, I have the screenshots from a heated conversation with Carrie in my messenger. Have you like put them on the screen anywhere, like on your channel? Why not? Why not? If you can Tony Stark some shit, you could throw it up on the screen now if you wanted to. I'm just kidding. That's probably not possible, but Cheese says, I never was a paid member, but I realized when I could no longer enter any giveaways unless I joined. Yeah, yeah. See, they figured they had enough people that they could start like putting those kind of restrictions on things, and you know, I don't know about the whole join thing. I mean, what do you guys think about like channels being set up with a join option? I mean, I can understand like if you're a full time YouTuber, you know, you got to make wages, right? You know, you can't keep doing it if you're not making wages. But is the joining function going too far? Or I mean, I don't know how much these people are making though. Some people apparently make a proper wages with their YouTube. Um, I know that I'm seeing that it takes, especially with me live streaming every day, it takes time and then trying to link up to these other social media because I mean YouTube has taken down I think two of my previous lives that they didn't like. So but I had the backup copy of them and then I can put them over at BitChute and Odyssey and Rumble. Odyssey, the video platform. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. Is it not? Does a YouTube channel just off of ad revenue not provide an adequate income to justify doing it, or as a actual profession? I mean, I don't know because I see channels they go to a membership kind of situation, and a lot of people it seems to rub the wrong way. Um, he liked my money, says Cheese Freak. Quick Witty. Yeah, it was Quick Witty. And welcome, Brandy. It's good to see you. Mr. Lee says, gives 6 hearts to Brandy. Dang, 6 hearts. Cheese Freak says, Carrie is not a good person and hides behind false narratives, says Donald. Papa says, I would bet Carrie's going to give it up because he's only making 200 or 300 a month. Is he though? $13.3 Rams. We got a Super Bowl update from Joe. Mr. Lee says, does Auntie Brent have hair under that hat? I don't know, Mr. Lee. Donald says, nope, saving them for when I make my a-holes in Bigfoot video. Oh, gotcha. A-hose and that's we need to be looking out for Donald's a-holes in Bigfoot video. Nikki says, once I dropped into BO chat and someone asked me what time my show was, I told them and Carrie contacted me through Messenger telling me I couldn't advertise in chat. What's the big deal? Oh my gosh. So, I mean, I get, look, I mean, someone else asked you, so why, I mean, under those circumstances, it really shouldn't be a problem. Now, if you dropped in there and just, just started saying it when nobody asked him, well, maybe he might have something to say there. But ultimately, is your show on at the same time as his show? If not, what freaking difference does it make? And even then, I mean, you guys have heard me tell people, you know, you got to do you. If you have to do it at the same time as someone else, and it's your channel, you got to do what you got to do. This is YouTube. There's a million channels. You're gonna have people that are on at the same time as you. I mean, now if it's a similar subject matter, it may be to your benefit to try and find a time that isn't heavily loaded with other channels doing lives at the same time, it's to your benefit. But ultimately, I don't think anyone should get that bent out of shape about it. Oh man. Cheese Freak says, Donald, he was pissed. I had a confessional shirt on. Said Tony Merkel was already big. Why wasn't I wearing a Bigfoot Odyssey t-shirt? He was literally pissed about that. So now you got to wear what clothes Carrie tells you to wear? I need to make Lockbeard t-shirts, huh? Brandy says everyone who donated $50 or more was supposed to get a free hoodie. Lots never saw a hoodie. Yep. See, it just goes on and on. So I hope people are listening. It sucks that we have to have a bash fest, but we kind of got to do this. We got to do this. Brandy says, "Hey, Uncle Bones, how are you? Good to see you too." Nikki with another update, 1310. Hello, Brandy. Cheese Freak says, Brandy, I was screwed. I never got a hoodie. Papa Craig says 13.9. Somebody's going backwards, I guess. Donald says, Kerry has a lot of members. He's making more. Yeah. He's got to be making more than that. Brandy says, many word cheese messed up. Cheese says, Kerry is making more than you realize he can pay an assistant. Yeah. He may try to downplay it, like what he actually makes, because he don't want y'all to know. Which, I get it. You don't necessarily want to tell people what you make, but Cheese Freak says, Brandy, glad I'm not the only dumbass. But, yeah. He says, Cheese, Blake is also a ginger. Yep. Blake, if I put my hair down and I have my beard, yep. I think that Blake fella's a good looking fella. Papa says, Carrie's making bank in the oil fields. YouTube is getting in the way of that. So, I wonder if like he's wanting to get out of the oil field and try to be a full-time YouTuber, but he wants to make the same money off of YouTube that he makes in the oil field, because he'd have to grow his channel. I don't know how much, but Joe says, fuck that whiny baby shit. I promote all you guys. Yeah. Why not? Why not? I'm not going to post a link to Bigfoot Odyssey necessarily, because I don't, because of a lot of this shit we're hearing here. But, y'all just watched me post the link to, was it North Alabama cryptid to Western New York Bigfoot Investigation Group. Did I put Nikki's link on there as well? And Seems like there's been 2 others tonight. I'm losing track now. But, what does it hurt? It doesn't hurt anything. Carrie, if you're watching this or you got a spy watching this. I bet he wishes I wasn't already blocked so that he could block me the next time I show up for saying any of this stuff or for letting any of this happen here. Joe says you can promote your stuff in my chats if you want, Nikki. Nikki's doing way better with the score than me. I suck, says Papa. Cheese Freak says Mr. Lee Brake is also a brother from another. Brandy says I wouldn't call it a bash fest, just being honest. Uncle Bone says you need more rum, Papa Craig. Mr. Lee says I like to hear the encounter stories on Bigfoot Odyssey, though. Yeah, but there's a lot of other issues besides what the actual content is, and some of the content is bullshit. I don't trust Zatsky for sure. He gave a 3-hour show to freaking Johnson, for fuck's sake, who saved an entire planet of alien Bigfoots. And then, like, the guy who was basically had some goddamn PTSD right there on the screen and was sobbing. No, that wasn't cool, Carrie. You can't. Of course, he had people just watching it like it was a train wreck, and it was. I just don't think it was right to have that guy on there having a freaking mental breakdown right there on screen. Yummy. Papa Craig says, LOL, Uncle Bones. Maybe Nikki will have another sip for me. Cheese Freak says, no way you can make that off YouTube. Who knows when YouTube takes your channel down? Well, and that's another issue. Like, at any time, they could just get a wild hair and take a channel down, for one thing somewhere. I mean, YouTube's just way too unstable, and it's spooking a lot of people. I mean, it's why I want to make sure that I'm set up, on Rumble and Odyssey and BitChute. And, I want to get this rolling, and it's just been a problem because they don't have everything working quite right just yet. So even though I'm synced now for partially, apparently it looks like I'm pretty much all synced up with Rumble and mostly synced up. Well, for the future, I'm synced up with BitChute, but I have to go back to before the syncing started and manually upload all the previous videos, and that's been a problem because I have to there's a problem if the video file's too big, so, and some of them are too big. A bunch of them are too big, so I'm not sure it's going to work, but I'll figure out something. But anyway, so if YouTube shuts me down, well, now I can't live stream anymore. StreamYard, you can't link StreamYard to Rumble, BitChute, or Odyssey. See, those are all synced up with YouTube. I can only live stream to my YouTube account, not those other 3. So those 3 platforms need to get it set up where I can live stream from StreamYard to BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble. If YouTube takes me down, I'm pretty much off air. I guess Nikki's having the beers or giving beers. Cheese Freak says, Lockbeard, you are probably right. He would love to block you again, bro. Well, Carrie unblocked me. I'll come over there and you can block me again. I don't give a crap because I'm not watching your channel. That ended a long time ago. Papa Craig says, I like to hear encounter stories. I don't care where. I want to be the one to decide if they're real, and everyone helps. Yeah, and you could hear encounter stories in many other places. So we don't need Bigfoot Odyssey to hear encounter stories. If you want to listen to them, hell, you can go listen to them on how to hunt. I mean, I don't think he's pissed off as many people as Bigfoot Odyssey yet, has he? Mitch Lee says, Mark Barton, that was an upsetting show. I wonder how he is all the time. Yeah. I mean, don't you feel that that was wrong to have him on screen like that? Yeah, Mr. Lee says, Brandy, StreamYards are bastards. Why do you say that? Well, I'm hoping, well, like I've sent an email to StreamYard about different issues and they haven't been able to fix everything that I'd like for them to fix, but they need to get it where I can link up from StreamYard directly to BitChute and Odyssey and Rumble, and maybe another platform. I just ain't had time to fiddle with something else and figuring out how that works. They all work a little differently, so it takes time to figure out how to work their particular platform. But why do you say StreamYard are bastards? Papa Craig says, me too, Mr. Lee, and what he said kind of haunts me. Mr. Lee says, Brandy, I have not heard nothing about how he's doing. Donald says, Mr. Lee, that's why I can't go on a show because it would be like Mark's show ended up. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Carrie used him for that. You know what I mean? You know, at some point you gotta ask yourself, is this right to do? How to hunt? How to read emails? Randy says, I don't remember his channel name, Mr. Lee. Donald. Ruthless says, Papa Craig, the way it loads up CPU and resources. I mean, is there a better option, Ruthless? Because, I mean, if there's a better option, you know, I may be interested in looking into something else. Because, I mean, there's a number of ways things could work better. And I'm sure they got people working on improving things to make it smoother. Like one of the things I asked them, I said, look, you know, I got set up where I want to share the screen of several different tabs, but there's like 5 steps to get one on. And then this issue where I have to mute myself if I'm playing a video clip somewhere, you know, that needs to not be an issue. And damn it, there needs to be a dark mode. Everyone should have dark mode on their damn platforms. Damn it. I mean, as you guys can see, I use dark mode on YouTube. I don't. I do that on everything. Joe says I would not tell my encounter on Bigfoot Odyssey if they asked me to. Just not interested. Cheese Freak says, "Go, Steve Ishtal. You know Carrie hates that dude. I love his content." You like Steve? There's a lot of people are not really caring for Steve. I don't know what to make of him really. I mean, none of the emails are vetted in the least. He doesn't know who's sending those, and we don't know for sure that he's, you know, not even making some of that shit up. You know, we're not seeing the actual person who had the encounter telling it in their own words. I mean, the emails are in their own words, but like in front of us, so we can kind of make an assessment. too many platforms. Are you a cat, Ruthless? Are you a cat? You look like the Hulk. And I never heard the Hulk meow like a cat. Papa Craig says, oops, Lockbeard, I heard one on how to hunt just the other day about archery hunters in my backyard. The story was good. Steve sucked. Oh well. Joe says, Cheese Freak Gishtal is a douche. Just my little opinion. Poor Mark Barton, sad, says Cheese Freak. Yeah. But, he agreed to do it, I guess. I don't know why. I mean, if it traumatizes you that much to tell the story, and then it gets me thinking, man, what if this is all a freaking act? Because how do I know? How do I know? Like, why would he do this to himself? YouTube works fine, in your opinion? I wasn't talking about YouTube, though. I was talking about StreamYard. StreamYard don't have a dark mode, at least that I can find. Maybe other people got it somehow, but I don't. And I asked them about that in the email, and they said no. Mr. Lee says, Brandy, the trail to Bigfoot. Has he uploaded, says Brandy. Has who uploaded? Cheese Freak says it, Joe. Investigation, or it's okay. We all have our likes and dislikes. You stopped watching it, Steve Ishtal. So did I, Mr. Lee. It got really redundant, and really it wasn't. He's just telling stories, and I just don't feel like it was a good use of time to listen to him read emails from completely unvetted people. Kind of a cat. It's how I identify. Oh shit. A while ago you were an Edison. Putting the ID in entity. Joe says to Cheese Freak, that is absolutely correct. I may make no reflection on you. We're good. Cheese Freak says, Lockbeard, why do we get to decide whose story is true? Steve just reads, doesn't decide their truth. No, he doesn't. But I mean, I prefer to see the person, on screen, because like that email could be completely made up. I have no way of assessing anything. I can't see body language or anything when a person's telling their story. Because a lot of times you can tell, like, that person's lying their ass off, but you can't tell at all when Steve's reading an email, though. So that's why I'm no longer interested in listening to his channel. Are you vetted? Just asking. Well, I mean, you might have a point there. It's just that at least if I tell a Bigfoot story, you guys can, see me tell it and see, pick out, tone of voice, body language to try and determine if you think you really believe me or not. I mean, ultimately, I can't 100% believe anybody, though, because a person could just be a good liar, or they could be totally mistaken about what they saw, and they may swear up and down, I know what I saw, but that doesn't mean they can't still be mistaken. So, people shouldn't get mad, about that. You can't expect people to just believe very fantastic stories sometimes. You just can't. You can't expect people to believe them all. Ruthless says, it's just me modulating, or is it? Brandy says, I never watched Steve, but someone said he puts those encounter stories in books and makes money off them. I feel like he could give a percentage of that to the owner of the story. Yeah, you would think he would have to, or that at least should. Huh. But maybe people email him have to just, do they have to agree to something? Like, when you send me your email, it's becomes property of Steve Ishtal, or I don't know how that would work. Papa says, could he be shucking us cheese freak? Ruthless says, body language is awesome. Cheese freak says, you take from it what you want. Ruthless says it, so it's factoring what isn't said over what is said. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard. Yes, Lockbeard, me also. I don't like all the reading out stories. Yeah. I mean, after a while, they just all run together, too. It's like, okay, you just, one person after another says something, and Steve Ishtal bitches about the government a little bit, and how they're hiding shit from us, and then nothing's ever accomplished other than we move on to read the next email. I'm way more interested in a show that's trying to uncover some new information, with a guest on screen, or maybe even they're out doing some investigations and stuff. That's nice to see. Steve isn't investigating shit. He's just reading emails, which is fine. And if his viewers like that, that's, they're getting what they want. I mean, he's got a lot of viewers. It's just not good enough for me anymore. So, you watch these guys, some of these guys, they're sitting there trying to figure out new and better ways to detect Bigfoot or find evidence. They're trying to figure something out. They're listening to encounter stories too sometimes, but they're talking about better technology or better methods. Where is Steve's email? He doesn't, or hasn't shown it for people to send them to. It's on screen usually. I think, is it towards the beginning or towards the end? It's on screen. He puts it on screen. There's like 2 emails to him, as I recall. Papa says he sucks at reading, Mr. Lee, and sometimes just aggravating to follow. Yeah, it's probably like listening to me trying to read Ruthless's comments. Mr. Lee says, yes, that's why I stopped watching Papa Craig. Papa Craig says, how do you know, Donald? Were you peeking? Cheese Freak says, you take from it what you want. He doesn't push the narrative. I would never tell my story, but would love it out there. Why would you never? So you've never told your story? Donald says, I used to watch him until he hid behind a female's account and got vulgar with me in the comments. Really? How do you know it was him for sure? Mr. Lee says, although his surroundings and where he reads his emails are good to look at. Yeah, I mean, he's got good scenery as far as the background goes. Cheese Freak says, Papa, he could absolutely be shucking us, but not my right to say, so don't watch him. Cheese Freak, you need to go on somebody's show and tell your story. It'll be all right. maybe Joe or Nikki or Pat or even like Mogs. I know you could be the first guest on the Mr. Lee 3PO channel. Now, Mr. Lee 3PO, you have to show your face. Donald says, "I do. How do I know it was him? Because I called him out and it all got deleted." Gotcha. Papa Craig says, "Oh yes, Mr. Lee, that is why I turn it on." Cheese freak, I meant Lockbeard. 'Twas a joke. Oh, am I shucking you? Papa says, "No, Donald, another bad joke. Sorry." Nikki says, "It's halftime." Cheese Freak says, "Tell my story at howtohunt.com or share my story at howtohunt.com." No, 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 no. You need to go on one of the real Bigfoot shows and like, on screen and tell it yourself. And Cheese Freak says, Mogion Monster or Mr. Lee would be my choices. I know, Mr. Lee, you don't have to start your own channel, but you could be a guest co-host on Mogion Monster, and y'all could interview Cheese Freak. Yeah, should I put that up on the screen? Have y'all seen Mr. Lee? Brandy says, "Leave Mr. Lee alone. Leave Brittany alone." Brandy's coming to your rescue, Mr. Lee. I am forced to retreat. Cheese Freak says, "No one wants to see my ginger face." Oh, we like to see ginger faces. So we'll get all kinds of ginger up on the screen. And so, hopefully you're not the South Park kind of gingers, at least according to Cartman. Y'all have souls, right? You have souls. Papa Craig says, "But I saw Mr. Lee's face. He's destined for stardom." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mr. Lee, you could go on Mogion Monster. You didn't like that idea I had for you? You could do the weekly, British Bigfoot report on Mogion Monster. Like, you can make it a permanent segment on WTF Live, the Mr. Lee 3PO British Bigfoot report. And it won't take you long because there's no Bigfoot in Great Britain. So you just come on and say, no reports this week. Good night. You'll be in and out of there quicker than Polly. Cheese Freak says Mr. Lee is a handsome fella. What's wrong, Mr. Lee? Papa Craig says it would be such a great segment too, Mr. Lee. Joe says no, Lockbeard. No one has souls. Bet I start shit with that statement. You might start shit with that that statement. I don't know. Well, anyone that's hanging around here probably isn't going to get too bent about much. Probably not going to get bent about much.
is also the furthest planet from the sun. Though scientists believe more planets may lie beyond it. I hope you enjoyed my report on the solar system. Thank you.
Okay, very nice, Token. Thank you. Okay, kids, looks like we only have time for one more speech today, so let's have Eric.
Thank you, Mrs. Garrison. My speech is entitled Ginger Kids, Children with Red Hair, Light Skin, and Freckles. We've all seen them on the playground, at the store, walking on the streets. They creep us out and make us feel sick to our stomachs. I'm talking, of course, about ginger kids. Oh, sick! Gross! Ginger kids are born with a disease which causes very light skin, red hair, and freckles. Ah, nasty! Yuck! This disease is called gingivitis, and it occurs because ginger kids have no souls. What? Kids who have gingivitis cannot be cured. Ah, sick! Gross! Yuck! Because their skin is so light, ginger kids must avoid the sun, not unlike vampires. That's not true, fat ass. I have red hair, and I don't have to avoid the sun. I was getting to that if you'll let me. Some people have red hair, but not light skin and freckles. These people are called daywalkers. Who? Daywalkers? This is all a bunch of crap. Mrs. Garrison, I'm really having a difficult time with all these interruptions.
Kyle, let Eric give his presentation.
It's not a presentation, it's a hate speech. People aren't creeped out by gingers. I am.
Kyle, if you want to debate Eric, you can do so with your paper tomorrow.
Fine, I will. Fine. In the meantime, shut your goddamn daywalker mouth. Let's see, where was I? Oh, yes. Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse. And unless we work to rid the earth of that curse, the gingers could envelop our lives in blackness for all time. It is time that we all admit to ourselves that gingers are vile and disgusting. In conclusion, I will leave you with this. If you think that the ginger problem is not a serious one, think again.
There you have it, a very compelling presentation from Cartman. Cheesrick said, I'd rather be dead than red on the head. Red on the head, fire in the bed. Oh my gosh. Oh, looks like we got ourselves another one of them dango bots. Hide. I'm blocking you, bot. I'm blocking you. Goodbye. Suck ass. And freckles too, says Mr. Lee. Papa says, get him off me. I got him, Papa. I got him. Donald says, Bigfoot Barbecue just put up a change to the podcast. Did he really? I got it. I got it, Cheese Freak. Prawn span bot. What? Damn bot, says Western New York Bigfoot Investigation Group. I'm gonna go check what's going on with Jay's channel. Let's see. Special announcement. It's like 3 minutes. It's 3-minute video though. It's 3-minute video, so y'all may want to go check it out at some point. Boom. Special announcement. Changes to the channel. We decided to make some changes to the channel and the shows, he says. There's the link to that if you want it. Joe says I'm way behind on my beer consumption. trying to get plastered before you do your after game live. About what, 49 minutes? 49 minutes till then. Ruthless says, sorry, I'm going more digital interface with my digital twin and my netizening. Okay. Donald says, done with the Bigfoot podcast, going into cooking videos, I guess. Oh, is that what he said? Why no more Bigfoot podcast? What's up with that? Something's gone down. I don't know what it is, but something's gone down. So I wonder if that has something to do with it. Ruthless says, yum burgers. Mr. Lee says, I was moderating on a channel the other day and I said hello to one of those bots. You're not going to get plastered until the show? Cool. Oh, I didn't hit send on that. Damn. Here's a link to that announcement on Bigfoot Barbecue if you guys need it. If you're anything like me, I'll forget. So maybe you could pop it over into another tab and so you kind of run into it later. Well, what else? What we gone 3 hours. LOL, Mr. Lee done it. Mr. Lee done it. No, I don't think Mr. Lee done it, whatever it was. I don't know how much I want to say, but I don't really know what the hell exactly happened, but something's happened. I'm sure at least some people in here know what I'm referring to. Yeah. Halftime show, says Joe. You've said hello to a bot. Yes, not all of them have Russian names, so they look almost like a normal name, and then you're like, damn it. What happened to Bigfoot Cafe? You talking about well, okay, that's something older. That's not what I'm talking about happened. Well, I'm talking about something recently. There's been something happened recently. But you're talking about over on Hidden Exaggeration channel. Want to see the algo in action. Dharma says, damn, I'm late again. We'll watch later. Hope you're all well, Lockbeard. Yeah. Thanks for coming, Mark. I was actually trying to wind her down. We've been here a little longer than I intended, but Nikki didn't have a live stream tonight on account of football. What do they call this? Damn it, I don't remember the word for it. It's a special football game. Super Bowl, that's what they call it. Papa says Snoop Dogg is rapping. Yeah, so I'm not missing anything. Good day, Mark. Hey, Mark. Jay Birch and Daniela. Yeah. Well, there was some issues. I don't know where all Jay's talked about it, but there was some talk about it over on Squatch Talk. I'm pretty sure is where it was at. Yeah, there's a reason why I don't express very good feelings about Daniela either. Ruthless says the Papa that dog now owns Death Row Records. Somebody, I need a translator for Ruthless. I thought they spoke English down there, but whatever this is, that dog now owners Death Row Records. I have no idea what he's saying. That's not Snoop Dogg. Oh, I could think of a phrase to say, and just as a joke, but it wouldn't matter. I'd get banned. YouTube would shut this bitch down. Night, y'all, says cheese. Night. Uncle Bone says good day. That Mark. Rap hurts your soul. Yeah, whatever rap is, it ain't music. Ritha says, Papa, I always thought rap had a silent C. Mitch Lee says, Lockbeard, you should come on to Moog's show and promote your channel, though. I can put your link in the chat. Oh. Does he want to be associated with the likes of me? I'm a little bit Moog's runs a chill channel. He tries to keep the bullshit out of there. And I seem to embrace it to an extent. Some say I go too far. Ruthless says Snoop owns Death Row. Now Lucky. Snoop owns Death Row. Okay, let me between the two comments, I'm liable to figure what the hell you're talking about. Is he on Death Row? Death Row Records? Is that a record company? So he now owns a record company. And now I'm probably gonna regret asking this question. Why do I care if Snoop Dogg owns a record company? That just sounds like a horrible thing for the world. Does that mean we're going to be exposed to more of that bullshit he calls music? That dog won't hunt. Snoop is there, but he ain't rapped yet. That I saw, says Joe. Snoop Dogg owns a record label. See, was that so hard, Ruthless? Papa says, when did Brianna get thunder thighs? Oh, shit. Ruthless says, if Scotty or Icon were here, they could translate my goodly England did. We just need to get you in some classes. Mr. Lee says you lost a show the other day, Lockbeard. What happened with that? I lost a show the other day? What do you mean I lost a show the other day? Death Road Records is a big one. Mogs loves you, Lockbeard. I know he does, Mr. Lee. We love him too. I just don't know what I can contribute. Sometime I'll go back on there because when I tried before, like there was technical issues and. Oh, come on, man. Uncle Bone says to Joe, he was the first one to sing You Do Need More Than Rum. Cheese Freak says, I'm jealous you get to mod on Moog's channel. Lockbeard is no worse than Neil. Mr. Lee. Yes, he took Death Row Records yesterday. I don't know. You're saying this like this is like important or something. So he's gonna make more music. Isn't he a has-been? Am I gonna be subjected to more of his crap when people are Doing this right here, cruising down the road. Joe says, I like Snoop. Cruising down the road, smoking Indos, sipping on gin and juice, laid back, got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Yeah, that stuff right there. Papa says, oh my goodness, they're dancing on Motherboard Earth. Are they really? Oh, shit, man. Please tell me it's not true. Ruthless says, no, you need more internet time. No. We need to get everybody speaking proper English. Mr. Lee says, I tried to watch one of your randoms and YouTube took it down. Are you sure? Because I'm not aware. Which one was it? Oh, it was one of the older ones, Mr. Lee? Because there was one taken down a long time ago. Months ago, I think. Ruthless says, your discernment contributes, Lockbeard. You didn't throw Occam's razor out the window. Okay. Joe says, I must have missed it. Uncle Bone says, Papa, who is the white guy in the hoodie? G says, Lockbeard, have you seen The Drunk Irishman? No. I don't guess. What's that? Papa said, now my chocolate lab, Rosie, is up in my grill for something. You got a piece of meat in your teeth. Uncle Bone says, yes, Joe, you missed him. Did someone say gin and juice? Mr. Lee says, well, I'm going to check out. I'm going to check now. Be right back. Quick, everyone bail. Mr. Lee's stepping out. They did. Don't act so surprised that a 58-year-old white New York hillbilly like Snoop Dogg. Was anybody surprised? Papa says, dunno, Uncle Bones. I should, but I don't. Uncle Bones says, there he is. Western New York Bigfoot Investigation Group, Snoop back on sinning. I'm sure that has some significance. Is referring to one of his song titles, I guess. Let me copy this again. Snoop played a great Huggy Bear in Starsky and Hutch movie. Do what? Donald says, Lockbeard, I went through this yesterday trying to find Nikki's second crossword video. It was not in her playlist. She sent me a link to it. Did YouTube take her video down? Yeah, man, you never know anymore. They'll just. But Mr. Lee, I still have that video. Of course, when I synced up with Rumble and BitChute, with BitChute, it might have snuck over to BitChute because it might have got over there. It depends on the timing. It might have got over there before it got taken off of YouTube. But if it didn't, because I need to go through there and check, then I got a copy of it. Well, I mean, it's not visible. It's still on YouTube, but I got a copy on my iCloud, so I'll have to upload it manually to these other platforms. So if you want to see that, you can find it on one of those, Lockbeard channel on BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble. Rumble might give me some time to get it on there. BitChute might already have it, but I need to figure that out. It was a decent movie, or what I watched the TV series Snoop and Kid Rock. Dotman says, I can remember the original series. I'm a child of the 50s. Donald says, don't know, but it wasn't there when I tried to find it. Dawn of Rock and Roll. That was a fast halftime. Oh, they're skimping on the half times now? Man. Well, there's one that shouldn't be on there, though. There's one that is taken down. I can't remember which one. I mean, there's actually two, but the other one was a short one. That was what I thought, Nikki, says Joe. Does NFL take 8 hours to play a game, says Ruthless. The NFL. There's a link to Joe's post-game live stream again. Because I think I'm getting ready to shut this down. And get some caffeine or something because I'm getting sleepy. Cheese Freak says they have no content since Prince left this and Janet got a real bra. Yeah. Yeah. She probably popped that titty out on purpose. That probably, a lot of people would never given her a second thought if that didn't happen. Like, oh, she was the one that popped titty out. Papa says, right, Uncle Bones, hate his guts and liver. Damn. Have a great night, Lockie, says Ruthless. You too. Oh, Joe, yeah, Joe's going to have a after game live stream, and it looks like 31 minutes. Oops. Mark says, they are so stop-start in that game, Ruthless. Give me the NRL anytime. Enjoy what's left of the day. Do it again tomorrow. All right, you too, Ruthless. Cheeserick says, I would have if I had bought mine. Catch everyone next time. Bigfoot Barbecue just uploaded another video. Well, did he upload another video, or is that the one where he's announcing? It's a special announcement of changes to his channel, Mr. Lee. Because I'm not seeing it. Oh, no, he did. He did upload a video. I see it now. Tomahawk on an open fire. Chessboard says, thanks, Lockbeard. I'll stay safe. You too, Chessboard. Sister 19 LOL online. Oh, that gotta hide and where did it go? Damn, chat jumped on me. Hide and block, Mr. Bot. Mark Dodman is this. It's why we had Union come from soccer. See y'all. Cheese Freak says, I meant if my boobs were paid for, I would show the world. Awesome. Well, the world will take boobs whether they are paid for or not. We prefer not to pay for them if we can help it. Mark, have a cool day, man. In fact, when you do when you go on Mogs and tell your story, you might, pop them out there. Mark says, right back at you, Lee. All right, y'all. I'm tired. I will try to stay awake for Joe's show here in a little bit, but I'm gonna get some caffeine to do it. And thank you all for coming, and I'll see you next time.